Most routine advice fails because it's built for one type of person with a predictable week. My husband and I are two very different people. Most of the routine advice that we find caters to him and not to the way that my body works, which makes working together and remaining productive without any burnout very, very difficult. We've just celebrated our 2nd-year anniversary and we've learned a lot along the way. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the routines that truly hold our household together, that really make space for both of our routines so we can work together as a family to build a sustainable life from scratch. If this is your first time seeing my face, my name is Keisha. My husband Matt and I are building a sustainable home and business from scratch without any burnout. This channel documents that journey and helps you do the same. All right, let's get into it. The very first thing that we did was establish a pace for our household. My husband is a very go type of personality, and I'm more the sit back and relax. So somewhere we had to meet in the middle in a way that honors both my energy levels as well as his. I am notoriously a night owl. I am that creative woman who literally is always up at 2 o'clock in the morning, and that's when I get my best eureka ideas. My husband, he wakes up at 5 in the morning every single day without fail, and he does that over and over and over again. But when we first moved in together, we really tried to be on the same page with how our schedule and our life was going to run. So I started waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning with him so that we could have time in the morning to be together. This only lasted for a few days. We quickly realized that we had to do something different and come together and create a new system between the two of us. A huge part of that for us was understanding our hormonal cycles, both the male hormonal cycle and the female hormonal cycle, and really implementing that into our daily lives. I go into much more detail about this on my Substack membership, Inner Alchemy, where I help women reconnect with their bodies and start living in alignment with their cycle so they can achieve the life that they want without burning out. The link will be down below. The second routine that was implemented was our non-negotiables. These are little things that we do every single day to come back to ourselves, to come back to each other, and to make sure that the center of our household is nervous system regulation. You cannot build anything when you're still in survival mode. And as two people who grew up in broken families, it was core for us to make sure that this was a foundation. This ensures that before anything gets done, cleaning the home, doing the laundry, taking care of the dogs, organizing our finances, or finding new ways to be sustainable, we have nurtured ourselves because you can't give from an empty cup. Our daily non-negotiables are to nourish, to move, to soothe, and complete. Once those 4 things are done, we can move on to the next task. So nourish just means making sure that when you get up in the morning, you actually have something to eat. I cannot tell you how many times I've done a bunch of things and I realized by noon, I haven't eaten a single thing this morning. I wonder why I'm in such a terrible mood. Our day begins with eating. Number 2 is movement. It's important to get that blood moving, get that circulation going. It gets you so much more energy in the day to handle all the tasks that you have to do. This could be simple stretches in the morning, going for a walk with the dog, or even dancing in the kitchen. Some movement needs to be done. Number 3 is soothe. This is how you prepare your nervous system and make space so you can do other things. This could be doing breath work, sitting in the sun for 10 minutes, or making a commitment with yourself to take a bath for 30 minutes at the end of the day. Whatever it is, it's something that you're giving back to yourself in the day, something to look forward to. This is not indulgence. This is the bare minimum for supporting your nervous system. And number 4 is complete. This one is for the neurodivergent girlies like myself with a million tabs open in their mind, a list of unfinished tasks at various levels of completion. Nothing irks me more than seeing tasks unfinished. It makes me feel overwhelmed, and so we want to get rid of the overwhelming feeling. And that is why the last step is to complete something. It doesn't have to be everything. Complete something. This could be as simple as tidying up the space, making sure the space is clean. You're seeing a project from beginning to end. Bring a task to completion, no matter how small it is, every single day before you get started, and it will give you so much more motivation to do the rest of the things. The next thing is your weekly tasks. You want to get very specific about what you're doing every single day. So when Monday rolls around, you're not running around with a bunch of things to get done. They're planned ahead of time. This means scheduling in advance when you're going to mop the floors, when you're going to do the laundry, when you're going to do the dishes, so they don't end up being this overarching task that keeps piling up and stops you from being able to get other things done. I've always had agendas or organizers my entire life, but for some reason in adulthood, it just became so complex to write everything down in a physical journal, especially when it came to making sure my husband was on the same page because he's not going to be reading my journal. So our system includes having a calendar up on the wall that we pass by every single day where we can check what's going on. We spend most of the day apart, so it's important to make sure that those calendars are updated when something new happens. If my husband makes a change, I see it immediately through notification and put it on the family calendar. This is also how we keep track of my phases in the cycle, so he's privy to where I am and knows exactly how to support me. I also got my husband to keep his own version of an agenda, which I think is really amazing. I love helping people get more organized, and I love that he's taking my advice. What really works for me right now is the self-care journal. So this incorporates both a daily planner, so you can plan how your day is going to look. It also incorporates your daily reflections. So every evening you have 4 questions to answer about the day, about how you felt, and it really just makes journaling and getting into that practice of checking in with yourself really, really efficient. It's like a really cute way to sign off the day for me. The other thing is I keep this planner on my desk, and this is specifically for projects that we're working on or content creation things that I have to get done as well, and those are written here. I use this one primarily for life planning and organizing, and then this one for business and content related stuff. Both of them stay on my desk, so I can easily glance at them when I need. The next builds on our cycle alignment even more by organizing your monthly tasks around the phases of your cycle. This involves what I call self-devotion, not discipline. It means checking in with yourself on a monthly basis and deciding what you need in every phase. I do this at the beginning of my cycle, usually my menstrual phase, and I'll sit down and organize what the next month is going to look like. We reflect on what happened, what went well, what didn't go well, and with that information, I can schedule my monthly tasks accordingly. This could be anything from cleaning the appliances in our home to going over the finances at the end of the month to washing your pillows. Did you know those need to be washed every 6 months? You know now. This also means scheduling date nights and different things that we're going to be doing as a couple. Now, I'll be honest, it's not always perfect, but you want to make sure as much as possible that you're scheduling big conversations, major changes, big events, business meetings in phases where we both have more energy. That has definitely been the biggest difference for us in the way that our household is run. Okay, so I know what you're thinking. This sounds wonderful in theory, but how do you actually implement this? It's actually quite simple, and it begins with setting the right expectations. I feel like most people get into marriages with 2 very different expectations of how things are going to run. You have different upbringings. Maybe systems were done differently in both families, and when you come together, you're trying to piece them together. And that's before you layer on any of the trauma that you've experienced or any habits or patterns that you're trying to heal from. You're 2 flawed individuals. So treat it that way. None of this would be possible if you don't set the right expectations. Maybe your partner grew up in a household where the mother did certain things and you grew up in a household where the father did these things instead. If you have both of these expectations and you bring them together, they're not really going to match, and everyone's going to be disappointed when the other person doesn't magically read your mind. So you want to have a conversation about that expectation and create a division of labor. Having a conversation about how things in the home are going to be divided. I love myself some charts, but you can definitely just have the conversation itself. You'd be surprised at just how many things that you thought were common knowledge or common practice that your partner just did not grow up experiencing. And your job is not to force them to be the way that you want or the way that you were raised or vice versa. It's to let go of both of those systems and create a new one between the 2 of you. I've written out the questions that we asked when we were having this conversation. It'll be all on my Substack. I'll be linking that down below. So some examples of the chores that we have divided is I do the laundry, my husband folds them. I make sure the kitchen is clean and the dishwasher is filled and running at the evening, and he empties the dishwasher in the morning or cleans up any dishes that are still left in the sink. My husband takes out the trash because that's a boy job, and I make sure that all of the toiletries in our home are replaced. There may be seasons when you don't have the energy to get a particular task done, or you're in a season where it's really, really hard and maybe you have to take 60% or 90% of the load and he has to do 10, or vice versa. But the point is that you're getting to a place where these expectations are already spoken, so you understand what your role is going to be. This will make your home run so much smoother by understanding what each person's role actually is. And the last thing is something I feel like most people don't really talk about, but I find it makes the biggest difference when you're building a sustainable life that incorporates both flow and structure. What in your routine drops first when life gets chaotic? We can make all the routines that we want, but they will be hard weeks. They will be weeks when maybe you weren't able to finish all the things that you said you were going to do. How do you navigate that? What things get dropped? What things get pushed to a different date? What are the most essential things? that need to get done in order for your house to run. For me and mine's, that is food. The floors could be filthy, the laundry could be piling up, but the one thing that we will not drop the ball on is food. This is a core that we started implementing about 3 years ago when we started taking our health really, really seriously. And we were beginning to see how much real, nourishing, whole food makes in your body, your health. Like everything in our household centers around food. This means from prepping food to meal planning to cooking the food to making sure that the food systems that we've implemented stay whole. It makes the biggest difference for how my cycle is going to run, and it makes the biggest difference to how we engage with each other. Food is not just about obviously nourishing yourself, but it's also how we connect. We cook together, we talk about food, we plan meals. My husband is the biggest cook. He's the person who actually got me to like cooking. So that is what stays, and what drops is cleaning. I don't care if there's a messy floor. My borderline OCD is making it really hard for me to do that. And I'm still learning to be okay with a mess and things not looking exactly the way that I want them to. But I'm learning that my nervous system is more important than a few specks of dirt on the floor. Now I'm curious, what is the one routine that you have in your routine that people would find weird, but it works for you? Leave it in the comments down below. I hope that you found this video helpful. Make sure that you subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.